Last time on Geeks Between Worlds.
This is backcountry.
And then I just put a giant upside down cross on my fucking pumpkin.
I mean, Negan, vampire bat, leather jacket, red bandana. I mean, yeah.
And then the one with the chink eye, chink eye. And then it,
I like pumpkins, but I don't know if pumpkins like when I put my dick in them.
They always fall. They always fucking fall, and he's just like taking a leisurely stroll behind him with that big old fucking knife.
And then she came up and said, "Do I have $5?" And I said, "I'm looking for the horror movies."
Brains.
She was like, "Leatherface," and I was like, "Bitch, my skin's fantastic. Take the candy, get the fuck off my porch." How about that?
I am the fucking deducer.
You know what? And then that's when I stopped liking things on my lips.
Squirrels ate my pumpkins.
I mean, they asked if I was the Dark Knight, and I was like, I'm the Dank Knight. You know what I'm saying? Dank Knight.
It's like everyone with a fucking pair of booty shorts just decided to dress up like Harley.
I'm down. I'm so down. Let's have a round of applause for Harley Quinns.
Welcome to Geeks Between Worlds, the crossover podcast where pop culture collides.
Welcome to the show. I am Oscar Lucio, your host, and I am with Steven Scott Horn.
What show is it?
The show that we're getting strange in, buddy. You're supposed to say hi, I'm happy to be on the show and stuff.
It's just weird that you didn't say welcome to Geeks Between Worlds, and it threw me off.
Well, it's because the intro says it, you know? You know, it's like last time on Geeks Between Worlds, and it's like welcome to Geeks Between Worlds, and if I say it again, it's like, Jesus, we know what we're listening to.
All right. I didn't know what we were recording. I didn't know which one we were doing. We got like 4 of these.
You thought we were recording smut and sexy stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smut and sexy stuff.
We only do that on Sunday mornings.
Tuesdays.
Seriously, though, it's on days of church, Steven. I planned it like that. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You doing good? Are you
doing
sure?
Good. Yeah.
I feel like you're a little off key right now.
No. Well, you threw me off key.
I didn't throw you off shit.
You threw me the fuck off key.
Dude, you're flying it off the handlebars yourself.
Well,
we saw Doctor Strange, didn't we?
we did.
That's what this podcast is about. That's why it's labeled Getting Strange. Clever, isn't it? That's a clever little marketing idea by our homie Joel, who is in production today. Let's all wave to Joel. That was a silent
Listener,
wave.
are you waving?
Are you waving?
You should
if
be
you're
waving.
not, unsubscribe. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
All right, stop
Double
waving.
subscribe. Double subscribe. So we're going to go real quick, a little nice spoiler-free quick review. If you just want to hear the rundown of it, you don't want to get too much details. Steven, hit us off. What did you think of this movie? Did
Watch
you like
the
it?
movie.
You watch it?
Go watch the movie.
Go watch it.
All right. That was the super quick spoiler free. Now we go into spoilers. That's all the time you get.
That's it?
That's all
it?
the time they get.
Not even a little bit more?
No. Go watch the movie. And then actually, all right, finish the podcast. Go watch the movie.
You
and
didn't
then listen
even
to the
say if it
podcast
was
again.
good. What if it's like a duped plan? Like,
Just
what if you're like, go
watch it.
watch it, and then it's garbage, and you're like, ha, made you watch it. I didn't even say it was good yet.
That'd be horrible.
That would be horrible.
That'd be
So you
pretty
thought
bad.
it was good.
It
You
was
liked
fantastic.
it. Yeah.
It was great.
I felt like this was like a movie that you need to see in 3D.
You need to see in theaters.
In theaters, in 3D. 'Cause
Probably
I feel
IMAX too.
I feel like even if, unless if you got like a real stunning 4K TV, I'm sure it'll be a nice experience because the movie is very colorful at times.
And
you know,
which
it's pretty trippy.
I'm interested in, but still like seeing that in IMAX, seeing the colors and everything, it was fantastic. Like even though I have a 4K TV and I'm excited to watch it on that, like no, as I was watching that, I was like, this looks better than my TV. Like that IMAX was popping.
Yeah, it was.
Popping.
It was beautiful. It was
great.
beautiful. We saw it in IMAX 3D. We had to ask AMC's for our fucking posters again. During Suicide Squad, this shit happened. And you know what even pisses me off more? This employee, this little shit employee. I mean, he's not personally a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, this guy was pretty bad. I just remembered.
Yeah, it was terrible. So another customer that has bought a ticket went back for a poster and glasses because I guess, you know, he must have forgot those because he was doing his job so well. Came back, got a poster right in front of us. He then tears our ticket, hands us glasses, and tells us to be on our merry way as he sees the other associate give her a poster. And I looked at him and I was like, can I get a poster? And he goes, oh, yeah, you can get a poster. And then he gave us a poster, and I was like, dude, I totally hate you.
Yeah.
Like, what is your problem?
No.
And then they actually even gave away different posters right at the end, because I think they realized that homie fucked up, didn't give everybody posters.
We got the cooler posters, though.
Yeah, we got the trippy psychedelic, like, let's put on a neon light, get high, and stare at this poster.
Fantastic. It actually threw me off walking into that movie. And I'm like, all right, I think I know what this movie is. And then they give me that poster, and it's just like some hippie psychedelic thing. I was like, nope, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. And what was cool is watching with you. Generally, you know more than I do when it comes to comic book, heroes, villains, and all of them. So, but you didn't know too much about Doctor Strange this time, so we were both kind of on an even level, right? About previous knowledge of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, no, absolutely true. This is one of the very first times I've walked into a comic book movie not knowing a lot about the character, and I think that actually made my experience better.
Yeah.
It was just such a new thing, and it was obviously a genre that I like. I like superhero movies. Sign me up. So
Inception movies, like, it's a thing now. It's an Inception movie.
Superception.
It's
In Superception. That's what Doctor Strange is.
in Superception.
Like, I looked at you in the theater when I said Inception, the movie we needed. Doctor Strange, the movie we wanted.
Yeah.
Just like that, Holmes.
Boom.
Just like that. I lay the butter down on the bread.
Drop the mic.
I dropped the butter, Mike.
I don't know what that means.
It's when you...
I'm done with the show. I'm out of here.
you
got
walk
on
out.
far enough.
You just like say the end of the movie and you're like, spoiler free, psych. And then you just like say the end. That'd be terrible.
That'd be pretty terrible.
All right, do you want to start getting into spoilers?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Everybody fucking dies.
Everybody dies.
The Hulk's in it, and the Hulk dies, and Scarlett Johansson's in it, and she becomes Ghost in Shell. And Robert Downey Jr. isn't in the movie at all. He died in Civil War. Spoilers for Civil War. No, I'm just kidding. None of that happened. None of that happened. Alternate timeline, though, it could have. Maybe in like an Earth 2.
Easily. Now I'm afraid we're going to butcher a lot of these names.
Oh, yeah. Like
they were fucking weird.
Arsidious? Is that
I think so.
I think that's the main bad guy, right? That's really the only name that I cared to not mispronounce.
Well, what about the other main character who ends up becoming the villain?
Whoa.
Oh.
What did you just... No, I'm just kidding. We were in spoilers.
Yeah, we were in spoilers.
Yeah. He is going to eventually become the villain to the next Doctor Strange movie, and it's fantastic because, Marvel couldn't fix the whole one-shot superhero thing right away, Of course, villain. One-shot villain thing right away. Because that's pretty hard to do, especially when it's an origin tale. You're trying to give the origin of your hero, not the origin of your villain. But they really set it up for Doctor Strange to have a villain that we are ready for, that we know a background about,
which was like the secret best part of the movie that you didn't even expect until the end. I didn't expect it.
Yeah,
I like the actor, I like the character. I'm trying to get his name here.
It
was Mordo.
Mordo
was his name,
and he is the actor that plays the dude in Serenity.
This is bad.
He's the hitman. He's the hitman.
His name is Chiwetel Ejiofor. Yeah, I told you, butchering this.
Yeah.
Look at this, Joel. He needs to look at it too, so he realizes how hard this name is to pronounce.
You mean Chiwetel Ejiofor? That's what that says. Okay. You guys are terrible at pronouncing. No, just kidding. I don't know if that's correct, but I try to say it as smooth as possible. We're going to have to pass this back around the room. So it does set it up. But what do you think of Arsidious, the main bad guy? Probably said his name wrong. Maybe not, though. Maybe I got it right on the head. But what do you think of him? I thought it was kind of like, it was like I wanted to like him, and he kind of persuaded me. And when he was trying to get Doctor Strange to come to his side, he made me come to his side. He was like, why do all these other worlds have to live in immortality, but this world doesn't? And I was like, yeah, dude, great idea. Let's fucking become immortal together. Sold. You got me.
I didn't really care for him too much.
Yeah, I don't think I really cared for him either in the long run.
Yeah,
But I would have been down.
Yeah. But that was cool. Is they got Mordo in there. Mordo did a great job, and now, in the sequel, he's probably going to be the villain, so that's cool. But I don't know. All right, so let's go back for the people who don't know who Doctor Strange is.
Yes, Doctor Strange is a neurosurgeon.
Yeah. And he's like one of the I don't know, top of his line. I don't know if they really talk about it, but
Clearly
he makes
a
bank.
top-
He's driving a
clearly
Lambo.
top of his line.
Yeah,
Clearly.
driving a Lambo. This guy
Maybe
has
one of the
money.
best in the world, maybe.
Gets in a giant crash.
Terrible
Loses
car
the
accident.
function of his fingers, basically. The nerves in him.
It shows the engine blow up through the dashboard and his hands going through like his speedometer and stuff. And it is such
Let's
a
talk about
terrible
how
crash.
awesome that scene was.
That crash was
great.
fantastic. That made me think of my whole driving life.
At the end of the movie, the last thing you see after the credits roll, I don't even, it was just the warning, the caution. Do not drive recklessly.
Yeah, that actually said that at the end of the credits. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And like everybody clapped for it. Did you see that?
It was
too?
kind of, yeah, it was kind of
Like everybody was like, "Yeah, safety," and I'm like, "When the fuck do any of you care about safety like that?" Like, cool, it's at the end of the movie, but I mean, come on, you are all gonna leave this theater and text somebody while you drive.
Yeah, but then there's always the possibility that they'll end up going to some sort of mountain and get powers. So I mean, that's what the movie teaches you. Think about it.
The
That's what
movie also
teaches
teaches you that we're gonna teach you to be a sorcerer, like whoever. Like that was one of my gripes with the movie. Okay.
All right, are we finally getting into gripes?
No.
Because
We won't get into gripes yet. I'll pull back a bit.
Okay.
So we'll kind of give a little bit more story about Stephen Strange. Surgeon gets in a traumatic accident, can't use his hands. That's his life. He doesn't know what to do. He's a motherfucking surgeon.
Yeah,
He has
that's what he spent
He has
his whole
shaky
life
hands
for.
now.
Yeah,
he has a bunch of nerve damage in his hands, and he always shake. Yeah. So he's trying to find all these people that got around these disabilities, and he finds somebody, and this guy pretty much tells him that he has to go to this camp and go through these lessons of life and like learn, all this inner power and stuff like that. So he does. Obviously, he's a man of science. He gets there. They're talking about, your spirit and all this stuff, and he is just not down with it. And he's making constant jokes, which is great. It's a Marvel movie. It's going to happen.
And I think that's when I liked Benedict Cumberbatch the most, too, is when he was just kind of being a dick.
This movie soared because of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Let's talk about actors then.
Yeah.
The acting, all of them were just great. Rachel McAdams.
Fantastic.
The Ancient One.
Fantastic.
Played by.
Modo was also great, right? Was that his name? Mordo.
Tilda Swinton
For the Ancient One. Now that is another gripe that we'll get into about the whitewashing of this movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was a great Ancient One. She was very, very clever. You found out also in the movie that she wasn't exactly being honest with her pupils, and that caused some discretions. Obviously, that's what happens when you lie, and that actually is kind of what led this character that we were talking about becoming a bad guy in the next movie, because he realized that his teacher was a fucking liar.
Which, I mean,
that's the story of high school.
Is that really enough for you to become some sort of murderous, probably sociopath, I'm assuming? I don't think he really cares about the fact that he's going to be killing people. I mean, he took that guy's ability to walk away. I mean,
that's true. And then you seen him all crippled on the ground, and it was sad.
It's
and
like
you were like, man, you're a
like,
bad person now.
I get lied to all the time, and you don't see me making people crippled because of it.
Yeah, I mean, technically, he didn't make him cripple. He was already crippled, but
he still took away his ability to walk.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. He turns into a bad guy real quick. Quick.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing, but I'm excited to see where that character
definitely
goes. I'm excited to see where Doctor Strange goes.
Yeah.
Without saying too much, Ancient One isn't in too much of the movie. A great amount of the movie, not all the way though. And also, you were saying the teacher kind of lying and then creating a sociopath. It also wasn't just that. It was the point of the movie being that they broke every fucking rule to save the world. Yeah. And I think that was the point of it. It was just like I think if all the sorcerers really did believe all of this stuff that they were going to, they would have let the world end, right? Right?
Yeah, you'd assume so.
I mean, if you really played everything that they learned book by book, everything page by page, they would have just let the world die because they would have realized it was their time. But instead, they broke every single rule.
And then he said something about wanting to, I don't know, make there less sorcerers, kill some off of, like, I don't know, I don't remember. How did it?
Yeah, he pretty much says that he goes, the problem with sorcerers is that there's too many of them.
Oh yeah, that was
which is true. We're going to get to gripes real quick.
Yeah, all right, let's just get into gripes.
We'll get into gripes.
Before the gripes, though, I want to at least mention that everyone loves this movie. I love it. You love it. We're
I
still
love
saying
it.
recommend
Yeah.
it.
No, it's very, very good.
Even though there are going to be a decent amount of gripes
There's
here,
weird things about the movie.
which is weird, but no one cares until
It's true.
afterwards, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, you
but
kind of think about some things. But everything works out so good in the movie that these gripes that we're about to mention, it doesn't matter because they're outshined by stunning visuals, stunning performances, and a great futuristic outcome for this franchise right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So first thing I'm going to say, the movie's completely whitewashed.
Yeah.
It's almost annoying, I think. I mean, the bad guy, the Ancient One, Mordo, all of these people except Wong. Wong isn't. Yeah, of course Wong isn't. You know, it's like
the comic relief.
It was almost sad to see it. Like, and then on top of that, another gripe that I have is they're teaching Doctor Strange how to like open portals and all of this stuff, but they're also teaching 15 fucking kids around him how to do it. Like, what the fuck?
And,
is this a walk up, become a superhero fucking camp? Because that's kind of what it seemed like.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was pretty easy for them to just like accept people into this.
Yeah, and then another thing is, I mean, Doctor Strange, when it comes down to it, it's not like he became like the most powerful or anything at the end, and they really never acknowledged that he was. They did acknowledge that he learned quickly, and that he did, when he was able to use the talisman thing, you know, he was able to use that, and they were like, oh well. But I mean, besides that, it's not like he was like all powerful or anything, and all he really did to win was kind of trick the system and trick the real evil boss, the planet devouring thing, and that's all he did was trick it. He didn't really do much else.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
It's true. And that's what was kind of weird about the whole movie. It's like everything he did was just wrong, and that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, and he wasn't really that good. I mean, all the kids were progressing much better than he was.
Yeah.
Or much farther, much quicker. But then, yeah, somehow at the end, he went. I think persistence prevails. I don't know what they're trying to get at with that. But another thing is, like, there's story-wise, there's not too much story. Like, there was so much, you know, fighting and all those crazy scenes and stuff that took up most of the movie that when you really think about the story, like, once he starts his training, there's not a whole lot that happens after that. Like, I mean, once the New York building starts getting attacked and that big fight happens, that just kind of takes over the rest of the movie, and that's all that really happens is just kind of fighting.
Yeah, he learns up to the point to where he realizes that he can manipulate time with the eyepiece.
Yeah, and then it's just kind of like quickly gets to the end of the movie.
It's true. We were watching it, and it got to that point, and I was like, okay, we're in this pretty quickly now. Yeah. Like, we are just all of a sudden in the main attack, I think.
Yeah, and then when you were saying the Ancient One wasn't in the movie too much, where was she? Like, there were so many times he was fighting him, and it's like, man, if she could just teleport anywhere, why isn't she there? Like, and there was that one instance where she came back and they talked, and then all of a sudden they're fighting again, and she's gone again. I don't know. So there's a lot of those little kind of discrepancies where I didn't think about it till after the movie, though, but then you start to think about it, and
and it's
the movie's
true.
Still great.
But you also have to think with movies like Iron Man too. You have to remember, Iron Man is literally, I want to say, 30% of him just building stuff. Yeah. Like, it's just shots of Tony Stark building stuff.
Well, speaking of Iron Man, we can move on to our next topic then.
Wait! Before we do that, what was your favorite part of the movie? I don't want us just to say gripes and then not say our favorite, because this is a very fantastic movie, and it might possibly be one of my favorite origin stories, which we'll get to next. But what's your favorite part?
Sneak peek. It's hard to think of like the exact spot, but any time where he was just kind of being like a dick, like, I don't know. Benedict Cumberbatch, I thought he was fantastic, and he was making me laugh.
I think he was a better
totally getting into people.
He was almost a better Tony Stark.
Well, and see, I tried to explain this to you the other day. I don't really like Tony Stark as a character too much
because you don't agree with him.
But yeah, Benedict, I don't know. I was on his side. Maybe it's the fact that he did kind of get screwed over with the sense. I don't know. Where Tony Stark really didn't.
It's 50-50. It is. It's such a similar story, but Benedict Cumberbatch just really plays that fucking part, and it's fantastic.
And then, yeah, like any scene with Rachel McAdams also. Whenever they were together, that was fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that mine probably is when she first puts Doctor Strange in the astral dimension, not when she hits him in the chest, but when like she really puts him into it.
Oh yeah, that,
And like
yeah.
you see him in space and then going through his pupil, and it was literally the best 90s acid trip music video there's ever been. I mean, that is what that part was, and it was fantastic. I mean, I was just so amazed. I had this weed lotion on my skin, and I was like ready for it, and I was into it, and it was just like, let me take you there. And I was like, baby, I'm there. You don't need to take me nowhere. And it was great.
That part was just incredible.
Yeah. So we'll get to the best origin movie now of Marvel. Prior to this, what was your favorite origin movie?
Probably
Not assuming that this is your favorite origin movie now, but what was your...
beforehand, it was Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd say.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to have to say... probably Guardians of the Galaxy also, but before that, it's Iron Man. Iron Man started it all, and Iron Man's fucking dope.
Yeah.
I mean, when you saw Iron Man, like, it was like the first time you were seeing something like that. It was so different than Spider-Man and X-Men at the time, which were kind of ruling the market. Then Iron Man came in, and you were like, wow, this is badass. Like, I do want to see shit blown up. I do want to see people flying around in this suit. And I do want this cocky asshole of a character, because the only person that was like that before that was Logan, and that's X-Men, and that's 1999.
Yeah, like, even though I don't care for Tony Stark too much, nonetheless, the ending of that movie where he's just like, I am Iron Man, it's just like, boom.
Yeah, and you didn't even
he's just
expect
like,
that.
I don't give a fuck. They even said, don't tell anybody, and he's like, okay, it was me. Yeah, so that was fantastic.
So now, does Doctor Strange hinge on that? Does it change your perspective?
Completely.
This is your favorite origin movie now?
It was. And it works for everybody, and that's the reason why. It works for both fans of Marvel. They're going to like it. But, I mean, this is also an open point for anybody to go see a movie. It's not like, I don't know, if someone heard a movie called Doctor Strange and they haven't seen any of the Marvel movies, they can still maybe go and watch it, and they would like it too, because there's really not a lot to do with the other Marvel movies until
they just
say Avengers a couple times and then the end credit scene.
Yeah.
That's all. So that's why I would say,
But you get a great cameo from an Avenger. It is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I was totally not expecting it. I loved it.
I knew they would probably show somebody, but no, not him, and I think it definitely hints to...
Doctor Strange being in that next movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We hope you know, listeners. We hope you know. It's fantastic. I just don't want to give that up. You know?
But yeah, that's why it's I would say it's the best origin movie now.
Now, see, this borders on the line, because at first I was like, this is probably, I think personally, the best Marvel movie. Now, that also comes from a fact to where I didn't know anything about it beforehand, so that really changes the experience, like really a lot.
Yeah.
And then I love movies like this. I mean, I love movies that like go into deep thought and things like that. Even though the movie's not as deep as I think it makes it seem like.
It could have been deeper.
It makes it seem like it's super deep, but on the it's really not. It's more just like makes you kind of think about things.
They don't go into it, so they definitely set the pavement for the world, but they didn't really get into it too much.
Which is going to be great for Doctor Strange too. I hope they really start getting into things.
Oh yeah, they will. They will.
Because
they probably gave you just enough, because if they got too strange and too deep into it, it probably would have lost some people that were just in to see a movie.
I do love how, I mean, that is something we're going to get into where the DC at though pretty soon. Where is these DC movies at? But that is something that Marvel just doesn't care about. Like fucking DC movies, they're just like, here, let me tell you this origin story of all these things you already know. And even with Doctor Strange, like, it was just like, now we're just going to throw you into this.
Like,
we're going to bend up some worlds, we're just going to kind of throw you into this epic fight scene to start the movie off. And you were like, yes.
We're about to get in there. But yeah, I would say best Marvel movie, though, I would probably still go with Avengers.
See,
I love the Avengers.
I really love the Avengers, too. Now... I mean, not
Avengers
2. No, not Age of Ultron. Yeah. That's a very bottom of the pick. But I feel like almost now Avengers is almost just overrated, and it's only because like I feel like when you watch it now, it's just so predictable.
It is, but. I don't know. There's something about seeing that movie in theaters, watching the other movies, and being
I also hate Captain America's outfit in that. That is they knew that. They were like, we fucked up doing this outfit. Nobody likes Captain America because of this movie. That was something that I didn't like about Avengers 2, is it was a terrible movie for Captain America. It just was terrible. You didn't care about Captain America. Captain America jokes sprouted from it. And, like, that scene where he's just like, oh, you need to, block off these streets and stuff like that. And they're like, who are you? And, like, he punches two aliens.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
they
actually love
do
that
Captain
part.
America so wrong, though, because in every other movie, they show Captain America's strength really, really well, and they show his technique. And in Avengers, they just make it seem like he's just some regular dude in a fucking leotard.
I want to point out, I never noticed he had a different suit on or anything.
Yeah,
I was
you
fine.
never see that suit again.
His suit, I thought his suit was fine.
No. Not when you watch it now. You're going to see how terrible it truly is. It is the worst suit in the world, and that is why they completely abandoned it, and that's why in Winter Soldier he goes and steals back his old suit. He's like, this new suit is stupid.
Yeah, never
Terrible
noticed.
suit. Terrible suit.
Never noticed.
Yeah. But, so that's where it gets to, Winter Soldier is my favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after deep, deep thought, thinking about it a lot, at first, Doctor Strange was definitely my favorite movie. It's not. It is second to Winter Soldier still, because of the fact of the story that Winter Soldier tells. It's amazing. It's such a deep story, and it progresses. I mean, even though they pretty much shrugged off the whole incident later on in Marvel movies, and it's kind of dumb how, like, Nick Fury can just get the helicopters, the helipads and everything for Age of Ultron. Like, that's so dumb. Come on. He wouldn't have been able to get that. That's $100 billion aircraft. That doesn't happen. You just don't have one of those laying around with a full crew to make everything work. Like, that is impossible. But it's still great. It's still great, and it is sad to know that they shrugged off the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. so much to where you cannot see that movie and never know that S.H.I.E.L.D. ever had a falling like that.
Yeah, true.
You can never watch it and watch every other one, and then when someone says, hey, S.H.I.E.L.D. fell, and they're like, what? No,
unless you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
which you don't.
which nobody does. Actually, some people still do. I guess there was like a big Ghost Rider reveal, and I just wanted, someone posted it online, and I wanted to just be like, nobody cares.
And it's so hard because, like, I don't know what it is. I mean, I hear the show gets a lot better, and I believe that, but it's like, I don't know.
Well, I heard they started doing like Inhumans stuff, but wasn't like Inhumans canceled now, like the movie?
Yeah.
So it's like, well,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they just kind of messed that up. Yeah, exactly. And the problem is that the show started out with being heavily evolved in the movies, you thought, and it kind of sold it like that, and now it's not at all.
Nope.
I mean, there's no the Clark dude. What is it? Greg Clark? I think his name is Clark Gregg, whatever. The main dude from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though, that dies in Avengers.
Oh.
Yeah, he's alive in the show now, and I don't know exactly what happened. He's either a clone or, like, something happens.
He's a clone.
Yeah, something. But anyway, it doesn't matter because you never see him in a movie again. It doesn't matter. Absolutely doesn't matter.
Coulson, Agent
Coulson. Yeah.
I was thinking hard on that.
And it's so weird because they really did sell it like it was just going to be this cohesive big thing, and now it's like they just put their foot in their mouths.
Well, yeah, once they started, because they got a couple good movie actors from the movies to get into the show, so it's like maybe it's got potential, but
yeah, and then they were just like, no, we're not going to do that, even though I think that was like the main reasons why I wanted to watch the show. And when I heard it from people, there was like the main things that they told me, like, and then Samuel L. Jackson shows up, and then Lady Sif is in the episode, and it's like, that all sounds awesome. And they're like, but that doesn't happen after fucking season 1.
But at least we still got them Netflix shows.
Yeah,
Defenders coming out.
All I'm saying is put Punisher and Ghost Rider in the show. You want Ghost Rider to succeed? Take him out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and put him in the next Punisher show, and there you go.
I think that's just suicide.
It's not suicide.
Maybe you're right. I'm not much for Ghost Rider.
It's because they always play Ghost Rider off as this light movie, but it's not.
Plus, she had Nicolas Cage in it.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
he was only good in like Gone in 60 Seconds, Face Off, and National Treasure.
Yeah.
Only movies he's good in. Everything else he just plays.
No, Matchstick Men is a
Matchstick Men is really
movie.
good. I like
Great
that movie.
con man movie. I love that movie.
Yeah.
My dad's never seen that up until like a year ago, and I sat down and was
fantastic.
like, watch
that
this
ending?
movie.
That
oh
ending?
my god.
We walked back in, what was it, a rug store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's in there, and,
Yeah,
and
and
he's
he's
like,
just
"Are you
like,
conning this dude?"
"Ooh."
And she's like, "Nah, he actually like really loves me and stuff." But
She's
that movie,
conning him.
that movie also totally captures like the early 2000s very, very well. Like it was that weird middle ground before what technology is today and what technology wasn't in the 80s and 90s. And when they walk into that drugstore or into the carpet store at the end, it's this such weird suburban middle America like type of effect. And you walked in and it's a very dull colored rug shop, you know, and you're just like, this is kind of what I remember like those years being. Like, we knew that all this tech was on the horizon, but we weren't there yet.
That's how I felt with the first season of The Wire. I like the tech they're using just screamed late 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that.
But anyway, as we digress. We do. Now we are going to talk about
Where's DC at?
where
though?
DC at though.
Where DC at though?
They've
got like 4 origin movies coming out, and you think they're gonna be as good as Doctor Strange?
Well, not if they don't have directors.
True.
Not if they don't have
Ooh,
directors. I'll tell you that
burn.
right now. All
got
of them
some
are
ice for that.
They're leaving. That's fantastic. No, seriously though. They clearly have a problem with every director that they get, and it's so hard.
And Ezra Miller is going to be a great Flash, but he's got to get a good chance.
Yeah, but he won't.
He won't. No,
He won't.
It's not going to happen.
And it's so weird because like, and you hear all these things, and now it comes out to their this isn't official in any way. This is interview from a man that heard it from executives that heard it from other executives. So it's a very trickled down story. But he's saying that he claims that Warner Brothers sat down with some shareholders and was talking about the Batman movie and how the script is subpar. And these shareholders were like, we don't care. These movies do fantastic in foreign markets. They do so good it does not matter. And if that's what your shareholders are saying, that is hard. That's a hard thing to do because, I mean, these people give you the money to do this. And if they really care about their shareholders that much, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to fix little things in edits and in dub overs, and they're going to make the scripts make more sense in other countries, you know, and they can edit things differently. And maybe even those foreign cuts will be better than the cut that we get. And it's just so weird. It's just so weird. It's like, I hope they're not writing for these foreign countries now. Because if they understand that that's where their money is, then they might.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, and that's probably why a bunch of the directors are wanting to jump ship, because they're like, no, I'm not going to purposely just make a bad movie.
And it's a weird line because you don't know if that's what they're trying to do. You know that they're not, but in some way they don't care enough to try to change it.
Yeah.
Which is hard. It's a very hard thing because we all want it. And you know what sucks? Is that if we want these movies to get better, and I thought Suicide Squad was great. I liked Batman vs. Superman initially, and then after watching it a couple times, I started seeing it right off the bat. You know what, to be honest with you, I watched it at the theaters once, and now I watched it a half times because I don't know.
I had to watch it a second time just so I could watch like 30 minutes of the added footage or whatever. And it was just, the problem was I couldn't clearly distinguish the new footage.
From the old footage.
Yeah, from the old. Well, yeah. So it was just kind of weird. But I mean, yeah, the movie is.
And that's going to be the same thing with Suicide Squad. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I think I remember Suicide Squad better than I do Batman vs. Superman because I like the movie more. But the plain and simple fact is people, if you want these DC movies to get better, then don't give them your money. Don't go and see them opening weekend. It's shitty to say, and I know you guys want these movies to do good, and you want more movies, and that doesn't happen without giving them your money. But if you want better movies, then let the next couple movies have a shitty opening week.
Yep, and then you just wait until the next episode of Geeks Between Worlds, and when we talk about how shitty the movie was,
or
we got your back.
Yeah,
we'll tell you, and then you can decide not to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's a very weird thing because, like I said, you don't want to do it, but that's the only way things get better. And like you said, if Warner Brothers is catering to these foreign audiences, well, then just make that domestic gross even drop more, and then make them red flag.
Yep.
And then you'll see change.
I like it.
And that's what makes you kind of wonder is maybe this Flash director had a great idea, and then Suicide Squad tanked critically again, and now they're trying to change the movie again. I mean, that could be another thing. Maybe they are trying to change it each time, which is also fucking it up.
Yeah.
It's a weird middle ground. What they need to do is they just need to not care about the time release and trying to compete with Marvel, and they need to just try to do their own thing. And even if it means pushing a movie back, just push it back. Just push it back.
Or just start from the ground up. The next solo film we get, which is going to be what, Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
Like, make it just that good. Make it so good that we want another DC movie.
And that's the thing, is that there was early reports too with that movie that, you know what, they heard that Wonder Woman's script was suffering, and that was from a disgruntled employee that left, obviously. So, you know, you could take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, he was just like, yeah, these movies are in trouble. They totally fucked up Suicide Squad by coming in late after the movie was been produced, made them do reshoots, and now they're saying that there's problems with Wonder Woman. That's what this employee said. And you're like, damn, like, you're just so worried. Like, Wonder Woman's having problems, supposedly. Batman solo film is having problems, supposedly. How can Justice League be doing good then? You know, you can't believe that Justice League will be a good movie if all the movies that set up Justice League are not good.
Yeah. At least Wonder Woman has that theme song.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the theme
That's
song.
the only reason why the movie's going to do well.
Yeah, probably. Well, and Gal Gadot. And all of you are going to give... Yeah, Gal Gadot. You know, yeah.
Gadot.
Yeah, so... But you're going to give him your money.
Gal Gadot.
But instead, just
That was creepy.
don't see the next movie. Go see Doctor Strange right now. It's a psychedelic,
Go watch it.
wonderful movie.
In theaters.
Stunning visuals. You need
3D.
It's hands down the best 3D movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I love seeing animated movies in 3D. It's my favorite thing to do. That's really the only time I'll actually go see a 3D movie, is if it's animated, because the depth is so good. And I saw Finding Dory. Wait, did we? Yeah, we did.
I don't know if I saw that one in 3D.
I went with you.
Well, then we probably saw it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Because remember she was swimming through, like, the bassweed at the very end, and it was, like, super, like, you're like, oh, wow, this looks good.
I don't know. I couldn't see past all the tears.
That was a sad movie, man.
Sad movie.
That was sad.
Sad.
That was crazy sad. DC needs to take a freaking chunk off their belt with a nice Walt Disney animated movie. Just copy the whatever movie that they're about to do. Finding Robin, Finding Wonder Woman, Finding the DC franchise. That's what it should be called. Finding the DC franchise. And then it'll just be Dory all sad and be like, just keep swimming.
DC, where you at, though?
Yeah, seriously. It's terrible. So what does this movie, Doctor Strange, lead to now? Like we kind of talked about with Suicide Squad, we were pretty unsure where that left us, actually.
Yeah. Completely
We're like,
unsure.
do we get another Suicide Squad movie? They got locked up. Are we going to see these people? It doesn't seem like we're going to see these people in the Batman movie because they're all locked up. Like,
I don't want to see him in the Batman movie.
Well, and then also they're saying that Batman has a lot to do with Arkham Asylum. Well, all of these people are in Belle Reve, so I guess we're definitely not going to see any of these characters then. And are we ever going to get a Riddler?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, whatever.
Riddler.
No,
Johnny
that's
Depp
terrible.
Riddler. That's the best
terrible.
Riddler. He'd be so weird. I'd love it.
He has a band called like Vampire Bats or something like that.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
That's Johnny Depp, dude. He's just
That's
going off the
weird.
handle now.
Exactly.
And plus,
That's why he'll play the best Riddler.
Dude, he like beats his wife.
We'll change it. The Riddler now beats his wife. Whatever.
Dude, that's terrible.
I feel
that's
bad.
terrible.
That
That's
is
terrible.
bad. I did not know he beat. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, no. Yeah, he's kind of not. And people still
Not
just
cool.
endorse him. They don't care. They do not care. They're just like, hey, you like sucking Tim Burton's dick. We'll suck your dick.
Everyone likes that Tim Burton
let's
dick, though.
really think of how many times Johnny Depp has totally fucked Ellen Bonham Carter behind Tim Burton's back. It has to be in the hundreds by now. It has to be. There's no way that those two totally haven't fucked. There's no way. I totally refuse to believe that. I mean, have you seen Tim Burton? No offense. Have you seen him? He looks like a fucking character in his movies.
Damn.
He does.
Brutal.
Yeah. I mean, and she's pretty good looking, right? She's a pretty good looking girl. I mean, not crazy, but
Do something.
I mean, I'd hit up Bellatrix Lestrange.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. But anyway, we're gonna have another great bad guy coming up for this Doctor Strange 2 movie. It's gonna go more into the astral realm. We're gonna get more Rachel McAdams too. You know it.
Yeah, so we're probably not until Doctor Strange 2. I don't think she's going to be in like the next Avengers or whatever reason. That's what I'm really interested in. I'm interested in Doctor Strange 2, but I want to know how he's going to interact with the other Avengers. That's like the main thing. Like, how are they going to make that work? And like, I just want to see him on stage, on screen with either Captain America or Thor, and just like I think it'll be hilarious.
So if you go into what we expect to happen in Infinity War, we believe that the first team of Avengers is probably going to die. I at least assume that that'll be close to the end of the movie. Is that all the Avengers that are Avengers now will die because of Thanos. Robert Downey Jr. will not be there, which is why Captain looks up to him in Age of Ultron and says, "You could have helped us," or whatever he said. "You could have saved us," I think he says. And it's because he's saying, Robert Downey Jr., you're not here when we take on Thanos. So Robert Downey Jr., what does he do? He gets Doctor Strange. He gets Guardians of the Galaxy, all of those people together, and he's the second team come in, and you never know. We might see Doctor Strange communicate with ghosts of Captain, of Scarlet Witch, of whoever, Bruce Banner, and he could actually tap into that astral realm to where all these Avengers are dead, and he also might be the key to bringing this team back. So, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have Lady Death come into play, and I think Doctor Strange and Lady Death will have a type of, not like relationship like Thanos and Lady Death does. Not Lady Death, it's just Death, but which might be played by Emilia Clarke. Fantastic. That'd be great. Like, especially if like they make her real shadowy, a cloak, and maybe like do something with her face to like when she turns, like it almost looks like a skeleton, but then when she looks right at you, it's her face, and then turns and it goes into skeleton, because she's Death. And the only two people that she's ever loved are two people, Deadpool and Thanos. Because she can't ever get Deadpool, and because Thanos is the devourer of worlds. But Thanos is always mad because Death is just like, I'd rather have Deadpool. He's funny, He's Ryan Reynolds. Who doesn't want Ryan Reynolds?
Everybody wants Ryan Reynolds.
Everybody wants Ryan Reynolds.
Joel, do you want Ryan Reynolds?
Always.
If I could buy a mini Ryan
forever.
Reynolds and put him in my pocket, I would have a Ryan Reynolds pocket.
And you can like customize them and put him in like either his Deadpool outfit or maybe his Van Wilder outfit.
Ooh, yeah, or like maybe like a Just Friends outfit when he's fat.
Or waiting.
You could have a little fat Ryan Reynolds in your pockets.
I don't know if I'd want
I
that.
swear.
Okay, I'll take it now. As long as he sings that.
Yeah,
As long as he sings that.
Especially if you pulled it out and he just started singing it right away.
Yeah, because if I saw him without and he's not singing that, I'll just be like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that'd be weird.
No, I'm just.
All right, well, that's a motherfucking podcast. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter, facebook.com/Fandom Talk, Twitter @GBW Podcast, on Instagram, GBW Podcast. Reach out to us. We want you to reach out to us so we can reach out to you. And we can, like, touch each other in, like, a vocal way, like things
Only
like that.
vocal.
Yeah, only vocal, not physical.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'll shake your hand.
I mean, yeah, we'll shake your hand. It won't get crazy over here.
I mean,
it won't
crazy.
get like the 2016 election, It'll just be really
crazy.
tame to that. Man, I was driving
go
down the
into
street
that.
and I saw a bunch of Gary Johnson signs, and it's like, I'm glad that you're doing what you want to do, but I mean, come on.
I mean, you don't got a chance, but
I mean, it'll show America that, so many people are voting for.
That's the best it can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is to show them that let's not get this election to this point. But other than that, we're going to be fucked. And DC doesn't have directors, and all the Avengers are going to die. That's our next couple of years. Get ready, people.
We're all fucked.
GBW out.
Thanks for listening. Like what you hear? Subscribe now and feel free to drop us a rate and review. Stay current with all things Geeks Between Worlds.